So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. It's like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it. Before I begin, I want to apologize that I say Roku wrong sometimes in this review. So I call Miyacho sometimes in this review. I correct some of it already, but I don't want her reviewer correct myself. So this is me apologizing beforehand. So this is really past me. Feature me apologizing for past me. So there you guys go. Enjoy the video. Sorry. Hi everyone, Martha here. So now that I watched that trailer, lost that trailer a couple days ago of Avatar Last Airbender live action, it got me worried. And I'm not gonna be surprised because they already showed me a picture that might be from this episode, and this is just really a theory. If I'm wrong, I'll be happy to prove I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm definitely gonna let you guys know that I was right. But what I'm talking about here, I'm rewatching Avatar show and parents of the live-action show that comes out next month. Now, after watching Percy Jackson shows, I still love that show. I still love the books of that. But it's not exactly like the book. You're never going to get it one-to-one. And why should you want that? Yes, you want it to see basically every scene from the book it brought to life. But to me, I don't know. I love my... because really... Nobody's imagination is the same. So when you're reading a book, your imagination will play out somebody else's your imagination is 100% different from somebody else's imagination. So even like only time it's probably the same is when you're looking at a picture. But when you're listening to a book or reading a book, you imagine something else of characters than somebody else imagines. That's what I'm saying. So, I know that the live-action show would not be exactly as a cartoon, and every time I have to deal with those stupid live-action Disney ones, I've seen sometimes where the cartoon is way more adult than the live-action one. So, and the same thing's gonna happen here. And my example is the fact that in the trailer that I think this scene's from, we see Iroh have clothes on. He's standing right next to Zuko. Now, if this is right, because this could be from any episode, but I'm guessing this is really from episode 7 of when they do that one, because there's only so many episodes they're going to do, and they're going to make the episodes longer, and then they did in the series, because do you remember, since it's made for kids, and I don't think I watched this as an adult because I watched this with my younger sibling when he was a kid, and one of the few ones I actually liked that he liked, and so yeah, and I did like Iroh, but the fact that Iroh in a kids show is basically playing this whole entire episode naked in episode 7 was surprising to me, and it still is. I mean, they're playing for a joke, but it's still surprising that they would put that in a kids show. Now, you don't see anything, but it's still surprising that it's there. So I'm gonna be really more surprised that they put it in the live action one. And there's proof of that, because it's in the trailer if that is from this scene since this episode's so important to the show, they kind of in the movie I haven't watched the movie like forever, so I don't know how I know a lot of us won't forget that dumb movie even exists, but the movie did leave out a lot of stuff. But this is very important to the story. So yeah, so let's get started. What's going on here? So Aang and Katara and Sokka stop at a forest that has been burned and cut down by the Fire Nation. And Aang is sad because of he's afraid that none of the trees will grow back. And Katara shows him some acorns that survived the fire, and showing that means that the acorns are seeds, and that means that these will grow back. These seeds will grow back into trees to make him feel better. And he goes by a nearby village because one of the villagers come ask him for help, and it ends up in a spirit it's like coming and basically kidnapping villagers every single night, and they're asking for help. And so Aang, being the spirit between worlds, has to go and settle the matter between spirits. And he also this is his first time doing it, so he doesn't know. He wants Roku, Avatar Roku, is the avatar for him to help him. While this is going on, Zuko and Iroh are being. Iroh's taking a bath in a spring, and Zuko's being Zuko and telling him, "We gotta go, Uncle. You got 30 minutes left in the shops to soak in, or we'll leave without you." And because he does get up, and then like luckily Zuko covers up, and like, oh. What did you think was gonna happen, Zuko? He's in a freaking hot spring. But anyway, he gets kidnapped afterwards, Iroh, by a bunch of earthbenders and taken prisoner. Naked. Like, they don't even let him get his clothes on. So, and this is a belief on the whole entire episode, he's naked. So, back to Aang, when Aang's going to go and try to stop the spirit from taking over, trying to kidnap based on her village, by trying to talk to it, and then Sokka, being Sokka, wants to go and help out him. Instead, he gets kidnapped, and Aang has to go and get him, and leaving Katara to worry about both of them. And so he ends up like being knocked out. Aang does, and Yasha's dragon comes and gets him and shows him that there's a comet coming, and he has to go see on Roku tomorrow. It's a certain day, like certain day of the year, but it's basically tomorrow. He has to go and see him because the sun will be in the right position here, and it's going to be at sunset that day, basically. So, after he figures out that he has to just show the spirit that the trees will go back to the tree, that he releases the kidnap villagers and Sokka and lets them go. And then Zuko finds where where Iroh is, because Iroh leaves one of his sandals behind, and he follows the trail there. And then they fight alongside. Now here is the picture that I'm afraid they won't. I know they're not going to be able to do it, because like I said earlier, nothing's going to be the same. You're going to have to just deal with it, and you should not want it to be the same, because if you had the previous thing to go back and visit, you can just do that. So you can still be mad about it if they would like disrespect it, like certain things, but we already have something that disrespect it even worse. So I still probably always will. I do love that. Still like the Percy Jackson, both of them, but it's not 100% this book, and you shouldn't want it to be. Okay, and yes, that show's changing stuff. Like for certain Hades, he's not exactly is in the book, but I think they were just it's Disney who makes it. You had to expect that after what they did to Hades and Hercules, that he's not gonna be like Hades from that book, where he's still scary, but he's not the bad guy. I mean, I guess the closest thing we're gonna get to that stuff, like to the best Hades, is the Hades from the video game. So, which is fine. I like that video game. So, yeah. Anyway, now I'm getting a little off topic. So, well, so the next day, now we're on episode 8. They have to, Aang has to hurry to get there before sunset. They're going into the Fire Nation, and has to deal with General Chow getting past him, and so does Zuko's, and Zuko's not allowed to go back home because he was banished. Now, we still don't know why he was banished, because I am probably going to talk about that episode when I get to it, if the show hasn't started by then, because I'm watching Batman, the Batman cartoon too, but we'll see how far I get before the show starts, and which ones I do pick to talk about individually. So, before the show happens, and they get past him by having them being distracted by, because Chow's trying to fight two enemies at once, both the Avatar and Zuko, and both of them basically get away. I mean, he kind of does let Zuko, because he wants to follow where the Avatar is going and following him, but somehow he's able to still get them. You know, Iroh's trying to use the smoke that when they hit Iroh's ship as cover so he can get him. I mean, I guess somehow he still followed him. They don't really explain how. Would have been nice, but I guess they did. And so when Aang gets there, one of the guards that are guarding the temple is on his side. The other ones are on the Fire Nation side and trying to stop him. And he shows them how to get there in a secret way. And there's a door there that only Fire Nations can go, only Fire people can go through. And it takes 5 people to get through. So Sokka comes up with a plan to have like gunpowder and like light it up and do it that way. And it doesn't work, but it looks like it works. So, or coal, whatever, or something like that. But it looks like it works. So they open the door, and Aang slips in after Zuko tries to capture him. And Chow hasn't gotten there yet. And he ends up slipping away. And Chow gets to, right after that happens, and they try to open the door again. But Yacho won't let them in, because he's talking to Aang, and he explains to Aang that there's a comet coming that you have to worry about. It's kind of like Halley's Comet, because it comes every single 100 years, except for Halley's comes every single, like, 87 years, but pretty similar. And the comet's gonna make it where the Fire Nation's more powerful during this. So, and they're gonna use... He has until summertime to learn all the airbending. So yeah. So, and then Yacho helps him get out there once he tells him about this by having going for a super version of like the Avatar bending by like basically possessing Aang and helping him to get out of there that way. And he like distracts everything, but he also like sets off a frickin' volcano. Like, what'd you expect? Like, you don't live on an island on a frickin' volcano. You live there. And then they leave, and that's how the episode ends. So I know that this episode won't be 100% the same live action version. Do I want it to be? No, I don't. If I wanted to go watch Laughiness, I'll go watch this show. I'll still watch the live action show to see how see what the difference is, but I know it's not going to be 100% like this. So it's not going to be everything I want. Like, I would love for Zuko's actor to make a cameo on here, or any of the other people to make a cameo that's still alive, but it's probably not going to happen. So I'll see you guys later. So I'm probably going to give this episode like a 10 out of 10. And now I have a little time to think about it. I'm probably gonna give that Percy Jackson episode that I made I talked about earlier, since some parts are a little bit different, and I don't know. After I like walk away from an episode, after I watch it, I'm like so excited, like I have a little hype from it. I'm so like I think it was good, and I have time to reflect about it. Then I'm like, okay, we're gonna make it go down a notch. So I'm probably gonna get the one at episode 5 like at 9. I still like it. So usually ones are like ones you have to worry about is anything below 5. At most you have to worry about me when I give it a 6. Because it is barely watchable for me. Okay? And sometimes I give things a 6 when it's just because as an actor I like. Even though I don't like the movie. Even though I don't like the movie or the show. So, yeah. So, like, favorite, and subscribe, guys, and bye-bye, and we'll see which episode I pick next to cover. That I'm worried about the live-action show not covering right, and see how right I am about this. So, bye-bye!